Okay, so I guess I'll first start off by saying that I am typically not really into technology. I prefer to do things that I already know how to do instead of learning a new program. But after researching digital storytelling and reading about it for our presentation, I have become more interested and engaged with technology. I first was not so much looking forward to creating and sitting down to work on our presentation, but after I started creating a digital story of my own, I became really engaged in it and was so excited to keep working on it, and that was a really powerful experience for me to see what it can do for students. Some students who may not be so excited to sit down and write a story or share a report or a presentation, but knowing what's in store for them can be really motivating and exciting. So I read, or I will talk about the article, The Educational Uses of Digital Storytelling, and I really appreciated how that article acknowledged that there are several different definitions of digital storytelling. And after reading the article, I noticed that my original idea of digital storytelling is very different from all the different varieties that they talked about in this article. I first sort of thought of digital storytelling just as students sort of writing their story and then using technology and adapting it to put it on a computer with pictures. But after reading the article and seeing that it can be used in social studies for sharing reports and historical events, or that it can be used to teach other students about something or teach them how to do something, I really became interested in the different areas in the classroom and school day in which digital storytelling can be used. And I also was amazed at the different types there. So there are different purposes for digital storytelling, but also, for example, for our presentation, we made a movie in iMovie with images and used a voice recording. But the project that we're going to have our classmates do tomorrow is more using pictures and putting them together with written or typed out text. And the two different projects look very different from each other. We also saw some varieties where you can have 5 different images that you uploaded to Flickr from your digital camera and had a caption for each picture that told a 5-picture story. And all of these different kinds of digital stories look so different from each other. There isn't this sort of one simple tool for it. So I thought it was really creative and lent itself to a variety of tools. I really liked how the article also talked about the 7 elements of digital storytelling, because that sort of gave me a better framework for what would be incorporated into each one. And I liked how, when talking about the different types, it also mentioned what the students would get out of it and how they are learning from each other and can start to see things from different perspectives, and it can really enhance their learning. And originally, when I thought of digital storytelling, I thought of it as students' creations and projects, that they would be the primary producers of digital stories. But after reading the article, I became really interested in digital storytelling as an instructional tool for teachers, which I think would be really beneficial for me in a kindergarten classroom. It would be something new and exciting to bring to the classroom, because right now our class doesn't really have any structured computer time or really time with technology. We don't really have much technology in our classroom other than a teacher computer. So to bring in something new like that would be really exciting and engaging for them. And I also really found it interesting and appreciated how the article talked about the different literacy skills that digital storytelling requires students to have. Because at first, I think a lot of people, myself included, sort of thought of using technology as not really a literacy activity, but creating these digital stories requires the students to have writing skills, research skills. They have to be able to write something before they can adapt it with the technology. They need to organize it to make it a cohesive presentation. They also need to have technology skills, which so many people are arguing that in today's world that students really need to be adept at using technology to communicate, because that's the kind of world that we live in now. And it also requires problem-solving skills, which I hadn't thought of before. When the children are putting the projects together, they need to think about what's working, what's not working, how can I change this to make it better. And then finally, thinking about the challenges regarding digital storytelling, and how the article mentioned that students do need to have some prior skills, otherwise the addition of the technology resources can become overwhelming and sort of make the project worse. But I found it very appropriate that the article also brought about another website to use to help students engage with effective questioning strategies. And also there are different ways that teachers can modify digital storytelling for different needs of students, such as maybe providing them with sentence starters or giving them a sort of structure for each different element of the story. Also maybe at first having the teacher write the story and the student adding the pictures and sounds, or the other way around where students are given pictures and sounds and have to create the words that apply to that, and sort of scaffolding it in this way until the students can do all the components and make one cohesive project themselves. So yeah, I'm excited to share what we've learned and our presentation tomorrow.